Whether you are a freelancer, a contract worker, sole proprietor, or even a small business owner, being self-employed shouldn't stop you from owning property. In this video, I'll share the tips and tricks that I had to figure out when applying for a home loan so that you don't have to go and figure them out yourself. It's a difficult process to get finance when you are self-employed, but luckily there's ways that you can improve your chances to get approved. After this video, you'll understand the process to follow when applying for a home loan that will give you the best rates and terms possible. Before we go ahead, please consider subscribing to my channel, liking this video. It helps out my channel tremendously and it helps me to make sure that I create content that people want to see. With that said, let's get into it. The first thing that you need to focus on is to get your papers in order. When you are employed by a company, it's typically much easier to get finance. You basically need your pay slips, bank statements, ID, proof of residence, and all of these basic documents. But for a freelancer or a small business owner, it's much more complicated. The first thing that you need is comparative financial statements for the latest 2 years. This can be a difficult thing to get if you haven't been trading for 2 years or if you just started out. This is something that you need to start preparing from day one of trading, whether you are a sole proprietor or an actual company. If you just started out, my advice to you is to create an income and expense sheet that you can use to track and monitor your income and expenses. This will help you in the long term that you can actually give this information to your accountant and they will be able to use this to create financial statements. This will show your lender what your financial position looks like, and this can help you tremendously. The next thing that you will need is a letter confirming your income and expenses. This is something that your accountant will do for you, and it's an overview of your financial position. You will also need to get personal and business bank statements. You will have to go to the bank to get statements older than 6 months. Otherwise, you'll be able to get statements from your banking app or the websites online. The next document that you will need that's really important is your IT-34 from SARS. This is an important document because this basically shows your lender what your net income for a specific period was and whether you paid the correct amount of tax on that income. Most self-employed people or companies usually pay provisional tax, and this will indicate to your lender whether you paid the correct amount. When trying to buy through an entity like a closed corporation, a company, or a trust, you will have to provide the necessary documents. Depending on the complexity of your application, it might be useful to attach a CV as well. These documents are the most important when applying for a home loan, and I urge you to focus on these first before you get to the other basic documents. The second thing that you need to do is to have your tax affairs and finances in order. Your financial records will show whether you earn enough to afford a specific property. It's a good idea to manage your income and expenses carefully in the months or even years leading up to your home loan application. Banks like to see consistent and regular income as well as disposable income like savings that will prove that you will be able to afford your property. The third thing that we need to do is to check our credit worthiness. To increase your chances of your home loan being approved, I suggest that you run a credit check and ensure that your financial affairs are in order. The first thing the bank will do is to run a credit check and to see what your credit looks like. This is important for you to do it first so that you can ensure that you have your finances in order before applying for a home loan. All South Africans are entitled to one free credit check every year. And if you want to, check out my video that I made about how you can boost your credit score if you want to learn more about this. Ensure that you have a proven history of managing your finances well. Ironically, to get big credit, it often helps if you have had small debts before. This proves that you know how to manage your finances and you know how to use credit. The best way to start if you don't have any credit is to open a retail account and buy items and pay them off before the payment is due, and always try to make extra payments on that account. This will boost your credit score really quickly. Finally, don't despair if there's any judgments on your accounts. There's certain ways that you can use to get rid of those judgments if you had defaults or late payments, and this is where it helps if you get the help of experts. Number 4 is to pre-qualify for a bond. Being pre-approved means that your credit worthiness has been checked in advance and your income and expenditure has been confirmed so that you can make an offer on a property within a certain price range. This will help you to shop around for properties that you can actually afford instead of looking at properties that are way too expensive and that you won't be approved for. This is why it's really important to have a clean credit score, and this will help you to get pre-approved. Number 5 is to save up for a deposit. Saving up for a deposit will provide an enormous boost to your chances of getting your home loan approved. This will show the bank that you are financially responsible and they will have collateral to use, and this ultimately lowers the risk for the bank and makes it a less risky proposition. Number 6 is to call in the experts. And this is a really important step because you need people to help you that has already done what you are trying to do. You will need a bond originator to send in your home loan application to all the banks. They will provide all of the necessary documents to the banks, and this will help you to leverage your time because you only have to fill in those documents once. Ultimately, this is the best way that you can use an expert to help you to get approved for a home loan because they know the ins and outs of the industry and work with home loans each and every day. The second professional that you will need is an accountant, and this is someone that you really need to have in your team when investing in property. They will help you to create your financial statements and to create a letter that proves your income. This is also someone that will help you with your tax returns and make sure that you are paying the right amount of tax each and every year. Buying a property and getting approved for a home loan can be a really difficult task, but take heart. By following all of these steps, you will be able to get approved for a home loan with the best rates and terms possible. Make sure to get your papers in order, have your tax affairs and finances in place, check your credit worthiness and pre-qualify for a bond, save for a deposit and call in the expert. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video helped you in some way. If it did, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with your friends and family or people that are trying to apply for a home loan. I'll see you guys next time.